Hello everyone, my name is Jill and welcome to my channel. This video is going to be about raising Corydoras Fry. So if you're interested in figuring out a way to raise your Corydoras Fry in a very successful manner, might I add, then stay tuned. But before we get into it, I just want to have a little bit of a conversation with y'all. First things first, you may notice that my video is quite different than it usually is, and that is because I'm recording on a GoPro this time around. So if you like the way that this video looks, then just let me know, and I probably honestly will continue using a GoPro because it's much easier than my phone is to use. My phone is mostly broken now anyways, so that would just be amazing. A lot of you may recall that I've recorded a Raising Corydoras Fry video in the past, and I have to say sorry to everybody that's watched that video. It was not the best video. I wasn't as informed about raising Corydoras Fry then as I am now, honestly, and it was irresponsible of me to upload that video. So I have privated that video, and I'm sorry to anybody that has watched that and has taken tips. Just forget about everything that I talked about in that video if you did watch it, and stay tuned for this one because I have to say that this is the way to raise Corydoras Fry. Step 1 to having a healthy environment for your Corydoras Fry. I added a big ball of Java moss to my 5-gallon tank, and what that does is it adds room for microorganisms to grow and hang out, and it also gives a lot more surface area for beneficial bacteria to grow. Speaking of beneficial bacteria, I have a large sponge filter in my tank. The great thing about sponge filters is it adds a lot of room for beneficial bacteria to grow, and it also aerates your water, which is completely necessary to having any fish. So if you have to pick between the Java moss and the sponge filter, definitely pick the sponge filter, but having both is the best. I don't want to be Captain Obvious right now, but everybody knows that Corydoras are bottom feeders, right? But we're going to need a few more bottom feeders in the tank. I have bladder snails in my tank, and I have a cherry shrimp in my tank. And what they do is they'll go around, pick about, they'll clean up little things here and there, you know, that the fish fry they don't want to eat, or, you know, if there's any extra food. Not that having extra food in your fry tank is a bad thing, which I'll get to soon, but just having them in the tank is, you know, hygienic. I personally keep a bare bottom in my fry tank just so it's easier for me to vacuum up all of the debris that's left behind from the snails. The debris, you guys know what I'm talking about. I leave my tank as a bare bottom. Tank size is entirely up to you. If you want to have a 5-gallon tank like me, go have a 5-gallon tank like me. I know a lot of Corydoras breeders have like storage tubs, half-a-gallon storage tubs, maybe even less water. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is the less water that you have in your fry tank, the more often you're going to have to do water changes. If you want to get like the hang-in breeder boxes, things like that, totally fine to do that, but just know that the more space that your Corydoras Fry have, the faster that they will grow because they'll be able to exercise more. So for the first couple of days after Corydoras Fry hatch, do not feed them because they have a yolk sac attached to them already, but after the first couple of days, you can start feeding them Hikari First Bites, really any food made for fish fry. But what I recommend is you try hatching baby brine shrimp. I fed my Corydoras, my cat's scratching on the chair that I'm sitting on. My Corydoras Fry have been fed baby brine shrimp mostly since they've hatched, and they hatched a month and a half ago. They could have easily been eating sinking pellets, you know, a few weeks ago, but live foods are ultimately the best for young fish because they're small enough for your fish to eat easily and packed with all the nutrition and protein that they need. If you want to know more about hatching baby brine shrimp and why you should be feeding your fry baby brine shrimp, then I actually uploaded a video a couple weeks ago explaining everything that you need to know about baby brine shrimp, and I'll link that video up here for you guys to see. The cat wants to see as well. After your Corydoras are no longer eating first bites or brine shrimp, then you can feed them just any old sinking pellet that you would feed your adult Corydoras or bottom feeders. Hey, it's me. I always forget to ask you guys, you know, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, because that really does help my channel. I need to ask you guys to give me a thumbs up every time I record a video, because it actually does help my channel so much. So if you're enjoying the video so far, give me a little thumbs up. And if you like me and you haven't subscribed, then give me a little subscribe, and I would appreciate that so much, because I do upload videos often. But yeah, back to the video. Sorry about this intrusion. As for the temperature that you keep your fry, it depends on what species of Corydoras there are, but the lower temperature that you can keep your fry tank, the better. And that is because the higher the temperature, the easier it is for bacteria to grow. And when bacteria grows, you can imagine that it's easier for a fish to get sick, things like that. So keep your fry tank as cool as it can be. My fry tank is 20 degrees Celsius right now. Albino Corydoras are recommended online to be from temperatures of 22 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. Mine are fine. You can see that mine are fine. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. Overfeed your fish. Overfeed your fish. People will tell you that they've had Corydoras fry just completely die off because they've overfed them. I have not experienced that, and that's simply because I've overfed my fish every single time that I've fed them. When you constantly give your fish more food than they can actually eat in one sitting, what ends up happening is they'll only come back for food when they're hungry. So they won't just gobble until they explode. They'll stop eating when they're not hungry, and they'll come back when they are hungry. That's exactly what you want. Not only will your fish grow so fast if they can eat whenever they want, that means you don't have to feed them as often. Okay, so we have the Java moss, we have the sponge, we have the snails, we have the cherry shrimp, we have the overfeeding, we have, what else do we talk about? I honestly think that that's it. You guys. I'm trying to think of more things to tell you, to help you out. I probably am forgetting a couple things. So if you have any questions, feel free to stop by in the comments and ask me questions, and I always reply to comments. So yeah, if you like this video, then go ahead and give me a little like. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, then I would appreciate it if you could subscribe. I know I mentioned that. I think I mentioned that like a second ago, but just reminding you, I upload videos as often as I am in the mood to film videos, which is like kind of often. So, you know, if you like me, then, you know, I do make content, and I hope that you guys are doing well. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. See you later, guys.